Today, in Chapter 38 of the Yoga Vasistha, we will discuss topics such as where is the Supreme Being, what is the true bath and worship, the vast form of the Chidatma, and the infinite benefits of mental worship. Listen closely, O Rama, because we're about to dive deep into the real mechanics of self-knowledge, detachment, and ultimate salvation. It's a truly magnificent discourse we have ahead of us today.
So, here's our roadmap for this discourse. We'll start with the Supreme Being's location, move into what true bath and worship actually mean, explore the universal conscious soul, uncover the immense power of mental worship, figure out how to apply all this high philosophy to our daily life, and finally, reach ultimate liberation in our conclusion.
All right, let's jump right into part 1, the Supreme Being's location. Now, if we look at verses 1 and 2 from excerpt 143, the direct translation hits us with a really powerful truth. The Supreme God, the Paramatman, isn't confined to a single place, a specific deity, or a physical idol. Instead, this presence literally permeates absolutely all of existence. You know, humanity so often tries to find the divine carved into stone, shaped in wood, or locked to a specific sacred geography. But trying to box the infinite into something finite, that's just a total illusion of the mind, Rama.
Philosophically speaking, my dear disciple, what this really means is that the divine is a universal truth. It's an infinite, boundless presence that you absolutely have to start recognizing in every single corner of reality, not just where tradition tells you to look. The Supreme isn't some distant entity sitting way up in the heavens. No, it is the very fabric of existence itself. You've got to train your mind to see this omnipresence in literally everything, whether it's unimaginably great or microscopically small.
Moving on to our second topic, true bath and worship.
Verses 5 and 6 of excerpt 143 offer a really sharp critique of external rituals. The literal text tells us something fascinating. True bathing, or snana, isn't about cleansing your physical body with water. It's actually about purifying the mind of its impurities. We see it all the time, right? People taking dips in sacred rivers, fully believing that the water is going to wash away their sins. But let's be real, water can only scrub the flesh. It absolutely cannot reach or cleanse the mind.
The absolute key here is understanding what these impurities actually are. When we dive into the deeper philosophical interpretation, we see that true cleanliness has nothing to do with washing dirt off your skin. It's all about washing away the ego and the worldly attachments that completely tie up your soul. These body-like impurities are the endless desires, the sparks of anger, and those false identifications that somehow convince you that you're just a fragile physical body. And you are so much more than that.
Notice the stark contrast here, Rama. External rituals, they just anchor you deeper into the physical illusion. But internal cleansing of the mind, that's what actually frees you to experience true reality. Think about it. As long as you're holding on to the belief that a physical bath makes you spiritual, you're still completely trapped in the physical world. True worship doesn't even begin until the mind itself is totally scrubbed clean of its desperate attachment to this temporary, fleeting world.
That brings us to part 3, the universal conscious soul. Now in verses 8 through 10, stretching across excerpts 143 and 144, we get to the literal core of the matter. Your essence is not this temporary, decaying physical body. Your true self is the Chidatma. That is the infinite, conscious soul that literally forms the entire fabric of the cosmos. When you finally strip away all those physical impurities we just talked about, what's left behind is just pure, radiant, unbounded awareness. To really grasp this philosophically, you have to visualize this intangible Chidatma as a vast, boundless ocean of awareness. You, Rama, are a drop in that ocean, but a drop that is entirely indistinguishable from the whole. Just imagine how this realization completely shatters and shifts your entire sense of identity. You aren't some tiny isolated creature just wandering around on Earth anymore. You are the Chidatma. You are the universal conscious soul itself.
Just try to take in the breathtaking scope of this universal form. It completely fills the deepest trenches of the oceans, it spans the highest reaches of the skies, and it perfectly occupies the silent internal spaces of your very own heart. This cosmic form isn't some prize you have to go out and acquire. It's exactly what you have always been, right from the start. It exists totally beyond the strict constraints of time and the rigid boundaries of physical space. It is the silent, ever-present observer standing behind literally every single thought you have ever had.
Next up, part 4, the power of mental worship.
Verses 31 through 35, which are detailed over in excerpt 146, literally instruct us on this perfectly.
They tell us that by dropping the outward, theatrical shows of faith and sincerely practicing silent internal worship, you achieve infinite eternal peace. You don't need to build a grand temple. You don't need a priest to act as a middleman. The absolute most sacred sanctuary in the entire universe is your own purified mind.
The deep spiritual significance here, Rama, is that this internal worship, this manasa puja, is the actual, precise mechanics of piercing right through the illusion of the world so you can finally touch the absolute truth. It's way more than just sitting around thinking about God. It is the total, unwavering absorption of your mind into the Chidatma. And the reason this mental worship produces such infinite benefits is simply because it plugs you directly into the infinite itself.
So how do we actually practice this in the messiness of daily life? Well, you have to do it sequentially. First, you withdraw your senses from the external world. Pull your attention completely away from the things you see, hear, and touch. Second, you cleanse your mind by letting go of all those sticky attachments, anxieties, and desires. And third, you fix your focus completely and continuously on the omnipresent Chidatma. It takes a ton of discipline, for sure, but resting your awareness entirely on that boundless ocean of consciousness is the ultimate goal.
Let's move on to Section 5, Applying Philosophy to Life. It is absolutely crucial that you bring these teachings into your daily routine. You do this by stopping the endless search for validation in the external world, and instead finding your solid anchor in that constant, silent worship happening within your own mind. When you're walking down the street, walk with the profound awareness of the omnipresent God. When you hit a wall and face adversity, face it with the total confidence that your true self is the untouched, infinite Chidatma. Carrying this internal awareness literally transforms every single mundane action you take into a deeply sacred ritual.
And finally, Section 6, Ultimate Liberation and Conclusion.
As you commit to practicing this internal devotion over time, Rama, you're going to witness the very real stages of your own spiritual evolution, which all culminates beautifully in Excerpt 1477. It literally starts right now, at this exact moment, by simply recognizing the physical world as an illusion. Then it morphs into an ongoing daily habit of scrubbing away your ego and those body-like impurities. It gets completely solidified through your steadfast daily mental worship. And where does it end? It culminates in the ultimate, absolute liberation of your soul, the moment where the illusion just vanishes completely and all that's left is pure, unbroken peace.
So, I want to leave you with this final, burning thought to ponder, my dear disciple. If the Supreme Being is truly everywhere, and if the highest, truest form of worship takes place entirely within your own mind, what is actually stopping you from experiencing infinite peace right this very second? The truth is already sitting right there inside you, just waiting for your mind to get quiet enough to finally realize it. The Supreme is already here. The ultimate sanctuary is your own mind. The absolute reality is your own true self. So take a deep breath, withdraw your senses, and step up to claim the infinite peace that has literally been your birthright all along.